It's a very special occasion. We're celebrating the 125th anniversary of Takoma Park. That's right, the city is 125 years old. We'll hear from a number of people during this event, but first, our current mayor, Mayor Bruce Williams.
It really takes the involvement of people in the community to make things happen, and you can work on things in a vacuum, but it doesn't really get anywhere. It can take a long time, but it's when the people who live here really want something to happen that they can push and make it happen.
The neighbors been trying to get me to run for council ever since I was before I was of age even, around at 20, 21, 22, 23. I think it was Terry Seaman, so he was going to run for mayor. And so he just talked me into being a councilman. And I thought it over, and then I decided to.
Every year we sent letters to the top 50 or 100 nuclear weapon producers, the corporations involved in these weapons, and said, once again, the city of Takoma Park cannot and will not purchase anything from your corporation. Sam Abbott had strong feelings about the nuclear weapons industry, and he got the city council, I believe in 1983, to declare Takoma Park a nuclear-free zone. Now, many people have the confused and misguided perception that that means, we won't let anybody explode a nuclear bomb here, or we won't allow the building of nuclear weapons here. It had a much more specific and a much more profound reason. We deny the profitability of the nuclear weapons industry by not permitting city tax dollars to be spent supporting corporations that are involved in the production of nuclear weapons.
This kind of anniversary brings to mind not just the history of involvement and how citizens have participated and pushed and worked for so many different things in Takoma Park, fighting the freeway, the nuclear freeze, rent stabilization, but also that spirit of involvement that I hope continues. And that's where I think the anniversary should be used as an opportunity for how we engage younger people, new people to Takoma Park, to continue this effort, and I think it's in a different way.
Rent stabilization, as Mark Elridge said and a couple of other people said also, rent stabilization is what kept our community very diverse. Rent stabilization basically enables us to keep the rents on rental apartments down to a level where people who have moderate incomes can afford them. Without that, I'm afraid what would have happened is what happened to places like Bethesda, where all of our rental housing, or all of their rental housing, the rents went up to the point that they became luxury housing.
It's a process of constantly adapting and making sure that the goals that we have, in this case, affordable housing, can be affordable both for the people who live there and for the owners of the buildings.
I am so delighted to be part of this. I remember I actually lived here when we had the 100th anniversary, but that was even before I was on council. I actually moved into the city in 1985, and so I remember 1990 when we had the 100th anniversary, and I just hope I'm here for the 150th.
The letter from President Obama just recognized that we have a special community, and that it was really good that we were taking time to celebrate this 125th anniversary, and that he was sure we would do great things in the future.
Grandma, she's here! Grandma!
Okay, I'm ready. Hi, I'm Jackie. I'm here to pick up Mrs. Johnson.
Hey, Mrs. Wells, she's ready.
Mrs. Wells, thanks for coming. Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad you called the village of Takoma Park. Okay, let's go.
The Volunteer Ride Program is one of the services offered to seniors who cannot drive themselves and who are members of the village of Takoma Park. The request for driving can be for doctor's visits, for shopping trips, or for social events. Regional rides are provided as long as volunteer drivers are available.
My dad passed away 25 years ago. In 1991, Reno Aldrighetti and others formed a committee, a working committee on the Sam Abbott building name. So the name was changed to the Takoma Park Municipal Center / Sam Abbott Citizen Center. And then another bunch of years went by, and in 2007, the City Council under Mayor Porter voted that the plaque be created to commemorate the building. A very nice, solid work, a lot of narrative that will tell people who are new to the city of what the city's roots are, and to help them understand that the values in Takoma Park that have formed its reputation and its identity, that is engagement, civic engagement, participatory democracy, and ability to see outside the box, even outside the jurisdiction, to think globally, act locally. We'll be able to see that there was a period of time when that became institutionalized.
I think this is just such a wonderful event. It brought back memories that I really had not thought about as to the beginning of my awakening and my participation into politics here in Maryland. I've lived here since I was 3 years old, but it was really a life of study and working. But after I'd been out of the country for about 5 years, came back, and it was a very tumultuous period in Central America. So I was very much involved with the immigrants that were arriving and the sanctuary movement. And Takoma Park led the way in creating a safe harbor for a lot of my fellow Salvadorans.
This is the 150th anniversary of the end of the Civil War. I think we are still at times in a civil war, not a physical one, but a moral and a social civil war in this country, in which inequality and injustice and poverty and war is so much a part of our society. And so while we have made great progress politically and socially, there's still so much that we haven't done. And Sammy represented that drive that we have to keep struggling. There's no letting up. By bringing together poems of Walt Whitman, who wrote I Hear America Singing, and it's a beautiful poem, but it's an ideal America too. There's the reality of America, and that's what the poems of Langston Hughes and Claude McKay express. Not just America, that America is dark, but that we have to keep struggling, loving the ideals of this country, and that's what we're after.
To be able to bring everybody together who worked with him, including the mayor and the council and the citizens of Takoma Park, and to have them all go through the various causes and efforts that he did to make our city and our community better, just turned out to be a wonderful night. The plaque that's here will be here forever. It's a cast iron bronze plaque. And so for years and years to come, people will come into the building and say, why is it called the Sam Abbott Citizen Center? And they'll be able to stop by the plaque and read the history of who he was and the history of our community and our city, and they'll be able to reflect upon it. And I think it'll be a meaningful experience.
I hope that the older people who remember and created this history will continue in their agency and their sense of activism. But I also hope that new generations will find their voice and will come out, will use the technology for the purpose of driving social change.
I've been here 21 years. I came in as a deputy director in the housing office and moved into a variety of different planning, and then community and government liaison, then deputy city manager, and recently appointed city manager.
Ms. Ludlow is going to bring years of experience, a lot of historical knowledge, and a lot of fresh ideas that she has been looking at for many years, that as a deputy city manager, which she's been, I think, for 7 years, she has not been able to implement. And even while she was acting city manager, she could not really implement any new things of large size. But I know from talking to her that she's got some very ambitious ideas for making some changes in how the city government is organized internally and other things I think will be very exciting, and I'm looking forward to it.
I think Susie can bring a lot to the table, and I am very excited that she's our new city manager. She has the experience, the know-how, and most importantly, a deep love for Takoma Park.
The first challenge is to ensure that the services that we provide live up to the expectations of the residents. The residents rightfully want the best city services. This is a special place. They want the place to look like a special place. And it takes quite a bit on a small budget to make sure that we can do the kinds of things that the residents want, provide professional services, and carry out the goals of the council. I think it's a very bright future. We have some new exciting businesses moving in. I think we have real opportunities as the Purple Line comes, we hope. There's people who have intentionally come to Takoma Park to live here, and they're going to be here for a long time. I think they're going to jump in and help us all together to make it a great community over time. So I really do see a bright future and a lot of happiness with us as a community.
Going to plant a mix of native trees consisting of oaks, pines, and some understory trees as well. These trees are localized to the habitat here, and they're going to provide the best coverage of water quality, habitat, and food source and air quality. This planting is part of a larger program, so this is one of the sites that we're targeting on campus. We chose the site because it was a large swath of land with a lot of open space that we could reforest.
At Sweep the Creek, which is Friends of Sligo Creek's biannual trash pickup day, we met a representative from Interfaith Partners of the Chesapeake, whose mission is to plant trees. So we thought it would be a great idea to have Washington Adventist University and Washington Adventist Hospital hook up with this organization to plant some trees, and which will help the watershed and the stormwater runoff that we have here in the Sligo Creek area.
Trees are a really critical way of improving water quality and improving the environment of a creek, because they not only cool it down by absorbing the sun's energy, the roots gather stormwater, so you end up with less of a flooding and droughting situation, and it just beautifies the whole area.
The work we do is that we educate faith-based communities about their stewardship responsibility to care for God's creation, with specific emphasis on caring for the sacred waters. And since the waters right now flowing into the Anacostia are full of a lot of pollutants, today we're planting trees to actually help filter the water out. One tree can filter up 100 gallons a day through its trunk and actually filter that water and purify it. In addition, trees have benefits also of sequestering carbon dioxide, so it mitigates climate change. And they also contribute to habitat restoration because, for example, some of the oak trees we're planting today will host over 400 native species of insect, contributing to feeding the bird population and other animals here in the Sligo Creek watershed.
Washington Adventist Hospital immediately saw this as a wonderful opportunity to collaborate with Interfaith Partners, the Alliance for the Chesapeake, our friends at the university next door, make a positive contribution to the beauty of our campus and the sustainability and ecology of our community, which we value so much.
This is a great thing.
I've been working to get the hospital to plant trees for a long time. The white oaks are the natives. Some of the pines they do grow around here, but they're not very frequent, but they're all native, local, and good species. This is happening, and it's good that kids are involved and they'll learn about planting trees and how to do it correctly. Good education happening.
For the first time I planted a tree. I'm here at school and all I want to do is just save lives, but today I got to save a life of a tree and not a human. And so this is just an amazing experience for me. I will take it back with me when I graduated. It's just awesome. It was hard work. We saw a lot of worms, but we were able to get through it. And there we have it. I hope to come back a year from now and see this thing just as tall as I am, if not taller.
Today was my first day planting trees, and it was actually really fun. We're doing a lot of good things for the environment here. We're trying to plant more trees so that the water quality around here is better. So it was just overall a really good day, and so far we planted a lot of trees.
I feel like it was a really fun experience. It was good to come in together and work together to plant a nice tree, to dig up dirt. It was really fun.
My experience today with Service Day has been amazing. I've actually never dealt with trees in my life. I'm usually dealing with textbook biology, studying plants and photosynthesis. Today I actually got to see firsthand how it is to really plant a tree, what really goes on in the dirt. I was a little freaked out when I saw earthworms, and then I was just like, I'm in their home, so I got to put it back. And that's like the first thing that came to my mind. When I interrupt the dirt, I want to make sure that I put it back exactly where it was, because this is not just my home, it's their home too. So it was just a very awesome experience. I learned a lot, and I'm looking forward to come back from a year now to see what happens with this guy.
This isn't my first service day. This is my third one so far. The other ones I've done is Pay It Forward, where we were given funds to go around the community and pay for what other people needed. Like, it was a really hot day, my first one, so for the Pay It Forward, we ended up buying a lot of water bottles and handing it to homeless people and workers during that day.
This is not my first service day. This is my fourth year, so I will be graduating. My first service day I got to do was actually dealing with bone marrow transplant. So again, since I'm a biology major, I just straight immediately went there because that's what I'm very interested in. The last service day I also did was family and friends, so I also got to deal with food a lot. This one has really been touching home for me, and I just really enjoyed it. It was awesome.
Whoa.
The Alliance for the Chesapeake Bay is a nonprofit organization focused on the restoration and protection of the Chesapeake Bay and its rivers and streams. We work with other nonprofits, citizens, communities, businesses, congregations, and schools to have grassroots action, get people outside and engaged in their local environment. Well, this program is called Trees for Sacred Spaces, and it's funded by the state of Maryland, working with houses of worship and other faith-based organizations. And the best part of it is that we are bridging the gap between faith groups and ideas and the environment. So getting people outside, engaged in their local streams and outdoor spaces, and seeing the collective impact that they can accomplish as they work together.
We have other programs countywide where we're supporting right now through Interfaith Partners for the Chesapeake in collaboration with National Wildlife Federation and Interfaith Power and Light, where congregations can learn how to care for their sacred grounds and green them in ways that are restoring God's creation.
I'm actually hoping to work more with the university in improving their stormwater problems. You will see below the university there's a very steep slope, and we're hoping that they can better address how the water just flows very rapidly off the parking lot. There are a lot of different kinds of things you can do that are relatively simple to help that problem. So we've got stormwater projects, we've got Sweep the Creek coming up that everybody can join in to help collect trash. We have an invasives committee which helps to collect and remove non-native plants that are choking the trees, that are choking out native plants. That's going on and will be continuing on through the summer. It's another thing that people can join us up and do, maybe one day, a couple of hours, or just on an ongoing basis after you learn what plants you're looking for.
Go Service Day! Woo!
Hello, Tony. Could you come over? I need some help with my computer.
Sure, I'll be right there.
Great, thank you.
Fred, how are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for coming, Tony.
What seems to be the problem?
I'm trying to schedule an appointment to go shopping tomorrow morning. The information is on my computer and I can't get it to turn on. Can you help me?
You know, I have the number for Village of Takoma Park. I can call for you if you want.
That would be great. Thank you.
When do you want to schedule?
For tomorrow morning, about 11 o'clock.
Hello. Yep. I would like to schedule a ride for Fred Parks for tomorrow at 11. Correct. Thank you. Jack Wells will be here tomorrow at 11.
Oh, Jack. Great. Thank you, Tony.
Tony and Fred are members of a village. Tony's special expertise is computers. He helps his neighbors whenever he can. Once in a while, neighbors may need help like Fred when he wanted to set up a ride. In addition to computer help, the Village of Takoma Park volunteers can help in other ways. Call to volunteer or to find out more.
Family Fun Festival has been going on for about 15 years. It used to be called Taste of Takoma. We renamed it, rebranded it. It is a program that is run by student volunteers. And our sponsors are WGTS, who brings the live band every year, Washington Adventist Hospital, of course, Washington Adventist University, the City of Takoma Park, who is celebrating their 125th anniversary this year. We all come together to make this event something very good, very fun for the community. Our students are Enact Us. It's a nonprofit that volunteers in the community to make good things happen. It gives good experience to our students, and their reward is we go to competitions and present the things that we are doing. This event is a wonderful showcase, and we love to see all the activity and all the people here.
My experience with the festival has been a good one. I get to interact with just about everybody that comes here, whether it be community, vendors, the people who we ask to come in for the kids zone and for the teen zone and the reptile show. It's just a wonderful event. The planning process is a little stressful, but it's definitely fun. And I am so happy that the day is finally here and we get to see everybody out here.
My experience as a student with this festival has been, it's been good. This is my third year at the university, and each time I come out to the festival, it starts off slow, but as you see now, it always picks up with a lot of people coming from the surrounding communities, even coming from as far as Virginia and Prince George's County, coming out to the festival just to see what it's all about. And I think it's a good experience to let people know that they can still have nice, safe, clean fun in an environment like the city of Takoma Park.
WGTS was established right around 1950, but it actually started as a classical music station. It used to only get up and down Flower Avenue, which is right behind us here. Nowadays, it reaches the entire DMV, so it gets Northern Virginia, Washington, D.C., and a big chunk of Maryland as well. Close to 600,000 people listen to the radio station every single week. Our goal is to connect people to God and to each other. So to that end, we do a lot of work in the community as well. We work somewhat with the homeless mission, with the Salvation Army, with groups like that. Again, we want to connect people who want to do good in the community with opportunities to do good in the community. So that's some of what we do when we're not on the air. If you're looking for a place of hope or place of encouragement, that's really what we're about. We're open to all sorts of people. You may not call yourself a believer, that is okay. We're meant to be a positive place. You turn on the news anytime, there's a lot of negativity out there. We want to be a place that you can go to as an alternative. It's not about the news, it's not about what's happening in a neighborhood that wasn't so good today. It's about what's encouraging. And if you're looking for something like that, we encourage you to check out 91.9. Me and my co-host Blanca Vega, it's Jerry and Blanca in the morning from 5 to 10. We would love to meet you.
I love the dirt. I like a bounce house. Bounce house is jumping.
We came from Nokesville, Virginia. They invited us here today. We're called Ponies Plus, so we come to you. And we have like pet and zoo, pony rides, we have ice cream truck, we have face painting, and we do all kinds of festivals. Yeah, and the kids love it, and they're animals they're used to, you know, being touched and petted. I think the kids really enjoy like touching, you know, like a little duck or a chick that they never felt before, and then just watching their faces, it's just like, it makes me like really happy to see that they're like enjoying that and they go, wow, you know. So I think they gain a lot from that, you know, especially when they live like in a city and then here's zoo animals coming, and they get really excited about that.
We have been coming for many years, and it's such a pleasure. It is so wonderful not only to be outside with the beautiful spring weather, but I love being here because the celebration really is about community, and the people come out from all over Takoma Park. It's an awesome day. You get to meet people from all over the world, celebrating the community on the beautiful grounds of the Washington Adventist University. I'm about to start my 45th year teaching about reptiles. Mostly we visit schools from Miami to Boston, and our company is Reptile World, and it actually is based in Bowie, Maryland. I think reptiles are probably the most misunderstood of all animals, and I honestly believe that when we can see reptiles in a different light, we can see people in a different light too. We know that reptiles are an important part of the world that we live in. I like to use the subject of reptiles to encourage children, especially to read more. If you can reach that one child that maybe isn't into reading, now they meet a turtle, a lizard, an alligator, a crocodile, and some snakes, maybe they want to start reading more, and that's important to me, the kids read. I hope that the people enjoy what we do as much as we enjoy the people that we get to meet.